Good evening to everyone out there. Tonight it is about 9:30 Central Standard Time here in my location. This is Destiny and I am back. I had a very powerful and wonderful day of getting out there into nature and doing videos today. I accomplished a whole lot. Earlier this morning, I uploaded a video titled Your Ancestors Know / Reverend Ike. And I'm going to take off from where I left off this morning, and I'm going to add some new things. And I'm going to do this video tonight, and it's going to be titled Your Ancestors Know / Ancestral Soul Tribe. So this is going to be very interesting. I did get out into nature today. Ooh, it was beautiful, very good weather. I am thankful to the divine source, the creator universe, for a beautiful day. I did get out. I did a video into nature today. My video today into nature was on out into nature, deep breathing. So check that video out. You go to your YouTube, you can pull that video up, or your Facebook channel, you can pull up that video, out into nature, deep breathing. And the one that I did earlier that morning, Your Ancestor Know / Reverend Ike. So guys, good afternoon again. This is Destiny here on a Saturday afternoon, 9:30 Central Standard Time. And as I've been sitting around today, I was a very productive day. I did a whole lot of studying for my school. I got a chance to make videos. I had a lot of time. I sat in front of the divine creator and I talked with my higher power, my God within me. I just had an amazing day. So, here I am back. So let's get started. Saturday. This is Saturday evening, late Saturday evening, or you want to call it Saturday night. Some places around the world will be morning, noon, day, whatever, night. But guys, it is February 29th, 2020, and I'm just going to go right into this video. And like I said, you can pick up the first part that I did on Your Ancestors Know. And what I was talking about in that video, the first one I did this morning, Your Ancestors Know / Reverend Ike, I was telling you the story about how I came to know Reverend Ike through my mother when I was much younger, growing up in the house with her and seeing her build this relationship through television, radio, and through corresponding mail with Reverend Ike's ministry. I never really paid much attention about any of his messages or even listened to any of his messages. I just knew my mom was excited, and I knew that she really loved whatever that she was getting from him. So I didn't pay much attention because, I was grown up into a family of preachers, and I was in Christianity all my life from a baby, because being my daddy being a pastor and preacher, both mom and dad. So every time I would hear about a ministry, I just assume myself it's still the same teaching about God. It's still the same teaching about Jesus, still the same teaching about, the Bible, way the Bible was taught to us in the church through our pastors and leaders and ministers, whoever the headship of the church, or in our home through our parents. I figured, okay, it's still some of the same stuff, I'm already getting all that, so I never asked questions. But as like I said, that many years passed, I remember no Reverend Ike. My mom has passed also since 2009, And I just never asked any questions. I just knew my mom was happy, and I just knew my mama's faith and belief, and I just knew that whatever it was still the teaching that we were receiving from our Christianity walk of life and the faith that we were in. But anyway, as I said in that video, as I got into my true awakening and coming to know my higher and greater self, it took me many paths to get to where I am today, and where I had come up to the point of 2014 when I began to really wake into my higher, greater self. I've done videos on that, so don't let me go all back on that. But anyway, when I did awaken, like I said, to the process 2014, it took me about a year and a half. Like I said, the more you dig, the more you hunger and thirst after righteousness. The Bible said you shall be filled. And I'm telling you, the universe will give you more of what that you give out. And I was giving out that hunger. I want to know, I want to know everything. I want to know my higher self. I want to know my past. I want to know who I am, where I come from. I want to know my ancestors. I want to know life. And how did I get to where I am, and who am I? Where did I come from? I was all about digging. And I went down a lot of different paths, and I was led into a lot of different other beliefs, which, like I said, if you make a wrong turn in the wrong path, just keep going in that direction with that hunger and thirst, and the Creator God or the universe, it will always pull you back onto the right path. And it pulled me back on the right path about a year and a half later, after I came spiritual awakening in 2014. So it was somewhere about 2000, in the early part of 2016 then. That's when I began to come consciously aware of my higher, greater self. So let me get on to this video. And that's where, when I started really going deeper now, because I'm learning about something totally deeper, that I am God, that I'm God consciousness, that the kingdom of God is within me, and these things were, somehow they were filtered in the Bible, but wasn't taught as the divine source, and God, the creator of the universe, was showing me. And then I began to run across all kinds of information now, pulling me off the wrong path that I had went down. The path with the, like I said, the Israelite movement, and I left Christianity, and then I moved on into the Israelite movement. I don't know what they call themselves anymore. I have moved forward in my life, but as I did, and I continued to go deeper and deeper into where the Creator was pulling me, it brought me into my higher, greater self. And that's when my third eye became open, and I became fully conscious of who I was, and where I have come from, and where I've been, and my purpose, and all those things. And that's when Reverend Ike came back into my life on these YouTube videos, and I never sat down and listened to a message of his. When my mom was all engaged into his ministry, I never took an interest. But I said, let me sit down and listen to his messages, because my mama had such a passion, a heart for his ministry. So I sat down for my first time, sometime around 2016, when I really started digging and finding out my divine purpose. Now I see, because what the Creator of the universe was showing me was connected with what Reverend Ike was teaching about mind science. So that's when I learned that he was not what I thought that he was, teaching like Christianity and the faith, and believing that a God in the sky, and believing that he was coming back, and what they call the rapture and all this stuff. It was totally different. But anyway, let's get into this video. Good evening, welcome again. This is Destiny, and I'm going to pick up here on this video called Your Ancestors Know / Ancestral Soul Trial. Okay, now guys, listening to this, and I'm going to talk to you and give you some insights on some things that I have sat down with the Creator tonight and been showing me some other things. Ancestral soul trial. Now, throughout the history, now we have been told many spiritual teachers. I mean, we have been told by many spiritual teachers and prophets that life is eternal. So therefore, one is led to assume that there must be something more than the physical body which continues after our experiences here on earth. And I did a video about death is an illusion. Death is an illusion. Okay, you can follow that video. But guys, what it seems also to suggest that while we may discard the personality, the material form, something else continues. And this something may be called many different things by different teachers and different philosophers, different prophets. And I'm comfortable. I am very comfortable in calling this the spirit, the soul consciousness. And I'm always talking about the soul consciousness, our higher, greater self. So whatever we call it, if we believe that there is more to us than the physical form, then think about this like this. Then something else must continue. It just cannot stop there. Something else must continue. So let's go on a little further. And what must continue? Then we are separating ourselves from our lower conscious state of being, the ego side of us, detaching ourselves away from the ego traps and all those things that we have been programmed all our entire life, the lies, the deceptions, the deceit, and everything that the ego kept us hooked with, bamboozle, I'm sorry, bamboozle, hoodwink, and kept us in a state of fear, depression, anxiety, because we were afraid to really accept the truth. When the Creator was waking us up, many of us just opened our eyes and fell back to sleep. So the ego was not the part where the Creator was trying to awaken us to. He was trying to awaken us to our soul consciousness. So that is the something else that must continue, our soul consciousness. So what is this soul consciousness? Okay. We hear people speak of spirit or soul. And as I see it, the spirit is the very essence of our own being. It is the prime motivator of our life. It's the breath. That's what the spirit is. Because he said, breathe into the nostril of man, and man became a living soul. So the spirit is the energy, and we are energy beings. We are energy people. And the spirit is the force. That's the divine force of the Creator of the universe. But guys, the spirit has no form because it is not an entity. And it is what makes life be. That's what the spirit is. Spirit is what makes life be. There is nothing in the universe that is not motivated by spirit or by energy, because everything in the universe is energy. Every mineral, every proton, neutron, whatever, rocks and minerals, the trees, the birds, the animals, even the human beings, we are all energy beings. Okay? Can probably all agree with that. So, as I said, there is nothing in the universe that is not motivated by spirit or by energy, because the spirit is the pure essence. Can you get that? Okay, I'm just trying to stay really calm and talk slowly so you guys can really understand what I'm saying. Now listen, however, because it is an essence of breath and energy, perhaps it needs to experience and express itself, and it uses, or it needs to use, the vehicle of the soul for this experiment. Whether we can accept or believe this or not, it does come down to our own belief system. As a man, I keep saying this every time, every video, or a woman thinks within his or her heart, soul, they become. You are not your thoughts. You create your world, your reality with your thoughts, because you are God. Your belief system and your own experiences, this is what it's all going to come down to. But guys, listen, nevertheless, let us just, for this moment, hold this thought. And let us accept for now that there is a soul, that there is a spirit. And then let us allow ourselves to believe that we are far more than the outer shell, more than the personality that we portray to this world. So first, let us accept that we are spirit. That there never has been a time when we were not spirit. Because the creator of the universe, he stepped onto the face of the earth. Everything was dark and there was no light. The earth was void and it was dark, and he spoke. That was spirit spoke its existence into the world. He said, let there be, and everything became in its form. As I said, let us accept that we are spirit. And that there never has been a time when we were not spirit. But spirit is an essence, guys. It has no form. It is pure essence. I want you to get that. The spirit is pure essence, okay? It is like the Alpha. I know you heard the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. In its purest essence, the spirit is the I am. And whatever that you use behind the word I am, that becomes your reality, that becomes your life. So you have to choose whatever you place behind your I am, that it creates the reality that the creator God, the God of the universe had created and had predestined for you to walk in from the beginning of your life. In the spirit and in its pure essence, it is the I am. So the spirit needs now a vehicle in which to experience itself. You know what I'm saying? It has to experience itself. That's why the spirit of the creator God, he breathed his breath into man. He needed a body to work through. He put himself into man. He pitched his tent into man. And man became a living soul. That's our higher consciousness self. And we have to accept that. So let's talk about the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and the first and the last. And I know you've all been in Christianity or different other religions. I'm sure you heard some teaching on the Alpha and the Omega. But guys, the soul is a consciousness. It has the pure essence of spirit within itself, but it needs to experience what it is. And it has the facility for gaining knowledge. It has a memory. It is this consciousness, this memory that moves from one life to another, retaining the experiences learned at each level. However, the soul, it has no form. So therefore, our soul needs a form. And this is where our physical bodies comes in. You can see how that correlates. So our physical bodies had to come in because our soul, it needs form. Okay? The body, the personality, that's what the body is, the personality. It is the vehicle for the soul, as the soul is the vehicle for the spirit. And when I'm talking about spirit, I'm not talking about the spirit of man. I'm talking about the spirit of the Most High Creator of the universe, the divine source, the infinite intelligence, the divine force, the creative God of the universe. That spirit. People want to say a capital S spirit. Okay, you got me now. Guys, it is through life's many experiences that the soul can unfold and develop its spiritual qualities. It accumulates all its knowledge and experience so that one day we will arrive at the family spot of the Alpha and the Omega, where we can truly say, I know that I am. I know that I am. That's what I'm saying. Man, know thyself. We got to come to know who we are. We got to know that we are connected to the divine source, the higher power, that we are God consciousness and God is within us. The kingdom of heaven is within us. We have to come to truly say, I know that I am. And that's what our ancestors is saying. They know. They know. We were thinking, like I thought my mama, she didn't know about all this stuff that I learned. I'm coming to a higher knowledge of myself, and I'm learning more about my life is totally different from where I was taught all my life in my Christian faith. And now I'm learning about the Kundalini awakening. I'm learning about the 7 major chakras. I'm learning about my soul consciousness, my higher good. I'm learning about the creator universe, and I'm created in the likeness of the creator universe. I mean, my mama don't know, and I was real upset, and I cried a long time over that. But she knew. And I told you that in that video this morning. She knew. She knew. So, as we do this, guys, we can obtain that confidence and that serenity and the knowledge that our spirit, through the vehicle of the soul consciousness, will evolve and continue. And that's what everybody that come into this world is saying. They died. They just left and went on to another life. Y'all been here before. I've been here. You've been here. My parents have been here. And they know. They know. They already know, because they have lessons they have learned. And they come back to teach us these lessons. Okay, let's continue. And this means that we truly have as much time as we need to know ourselves. Time to assimilate the experiences that we face each lifetime that we come here, or whether we go into another universe or to another planet, whatever life that creator he sends us, we have experiences, and we must face these experiences with each lifetime that we live. That's deep for some people to really probably wrap their head around it, but stay with me, don't leave me. You got to get this. Every experience, guys, whether it's good or bad, it has a purpose. It has a lesson learned at a deeper level of understanding, but Are these lessons and these experiences purely personal, or are we something far greater than we give ourselves credit for? The knowledge that we could be more than the outer personality is both exciting, but then it can be kind of scary when you don't know exactly where you're headed into the unknown, and we don't trust the unknown so much, you know what I'm saying? So what are we? And I know we many have asked that question, probably every one of us asked that question. So what are we? What are we? So let's go on and let's dig a little deeper. We are threefold nature. And I don't know if you understand that. Our threefold nature. So that's what we are. Stay with me, you might learn a little something different. Yes, we are threefold nature. The soul has a threefold nature, guys. It is self-conscious, which is your personality. It is group conscious, which is your soul. And it is at a very deep level, God conscious. And that is your spirit. The soul has no individual ambitions or individual interests, and it is not at all interested in the aims and the complexities of its personality. It does not have any interest at all. But listen, the soul now, it exists as a consciousness, and it is there to create and direct the personality through its experiences. And the purpose of life is about the personality. That's what the purpose of life is. It's about the personality. The individual man realizing that he is much more than the flesh. And there is a process whereby the spirit within the personality becomes aware of itself as the soul, with soul powers, soul relationships, and soul purpose. So, guys, when the personality realizes this, even in a small measure, the soul becomes consciously aware of a group soul. And like I said, the ancestral soul tribe. And if we accept the existence of a soul, of a spirit, then perhaps the next question is this: how does this work? And these are things that you can think on. Think on these things. Meditate on these things. Then another question you might want to think on: what have I been before? What have I been before? What have I been before? And I did a video on that. I mean, the creator showed me, hey, you know, we just didn't come here as people, but some of us is here as trees and rocks and animals and insects and, I mean, things. I don't want to get you out there too crazy, but I will reveal this. This is what my truth and my gut consciousness of the creator showed me. So you have to be careful what you out there kicking around or cutting down or beating up. Stepping on animals, you could be stepping on a person. Chopping down a tree, you could be chopping up a person. Hitting off bats and animals and things you don't know. So what have I been before? Where have I been before? What have I learned? What shall I be in the future? So guys, if we have all been here before, then there is obviously more than the little me and the little you of this present earthly body around. You see? Am I a part of something bigger? Are you a part of something bigger? Nowadays, guys, on earth, we are able to look up records and find our current life ancestry, which can be delightful and very interesting. Like I said, my mom didn't have access all those years. I mean, many, many years ago. You know, they didn't have internet. They didn't have computers. They didn't have all the videos of YouTube and all this stuff that you can just get up there and dig up information and have Google. She didn't have anything, but all she had was that radio, that television, and a male correspondence connection to Reverend Ike, and that's all that she could have grown to the level that she was taught. Okay, but we got so much that we can just look up so many records and learn so much. But if we have an earthly ancestry, do we also have a soul ancestral tree? And if so, who are these ancestors? And what part do they play in our lives? And how can we today connect with them? But they are still here. I mean, we may not see them, but they are still here. They are in us. And that may be deep for a lot of people to think. There are a lot of us, they are us. We all come back here again and again and again. It's a different person, a different thing, a different people. I don't know, I believe we all continue to keep repeating and coming back. I'm going to leave that there. That could be deep. So how can we today connect with our ancestral soul triad? So let's talk about the spiritual DNA. And that's the ancestral soul triad, the spiritual DNA. And when I speak about spiritual DNA, guys, we're not just speaking of our earthly ancestors, of our current family history. I'm not talking about none of that kind of stuff. We are speaking of our ancestral soul triad. This is the history of our soul. Being a part of our ancestral soul triad takes us beyond the immediately family history. Talking about any of that family tree that people out there, ancestral deep, what you call .com, D, whatever it is. I'm not talking about any of that, guys. I'm talking on a deeper, higher level. This is going to take us beyond the immediate family history. And indeed, some people feel very little connection with their earthly family, while others know that there is a deep affinity between them. Then, on both counts, we may have taken on continual group karma. And y'all know what karma is. Karma, yes. Think about that. It takes us back to where we originally came from.